6 months ago when we first conceived of DS Domination was such a massive mindset change for everybody, for all of us. But when we started discussing it, I remember way back when we talked about starting up something that was an MLM. And Roger will probably tell the story a lot better than I would. But it was something about how we want to do something that would work for the average person, that would not have this mathematical failure rate of 95%. And it's really exciting to see that that's actually come to be. And Roger will tell you a lot better how this whole thing happened and how it got started and our average person focus, which wasn't there and was there and things like that. But what I'm going to do, since I am not sure how much time I actually have on here, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the updates that we have planned that are going to be hitting within starting this week actually. And then you guys can clap a little, cheer a little, and we'll go from there. Just confirming again, everybody can hear everything fine? Can you still hear me? Okay, perfect. I don't know why, but I can't hear Roger right now. And I prefer hearing his random comments every now and then. Yeah,
that's my 2014 gift to you, my mute button. Merry Christmas.
Yep. All right. So let's go ahead. I'm going to make myself the presenter. And at this point, all of you should be able to see my screen. Can you see my screen, please? So say, yes, we can see your screen. Okay, awesome. I see 4 no's and then a lot of yeses coming in. Okay, Roger, can you confirm that my screen is visible?
Maybe. Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Yeah, that's as good as it gets with Roger. It's been a while since we're all 3 on the webinar together, so we might have a lot of fun on here.
Yeah, we might go to fists.
Again, just a heads up for all of you. Okay, so what you guys would probably notice here, which is slightly different other than this massive balance, what you should probably be noticing on here is this new progress tracker right here. And you should also be seeing this little pop-up right here. And what we are actually doing now is we're going to be walking everybody through kind of a checklist, making sure they actually are taking the right steps. Because one of the big problems that people have is they lose focus. They don't really understand the big picture. And they say, oh, I watched the videos, but I don't really know what I'm supposed to be doing. So we actually have everything written out in a very nice checklist format. So people will actually walk through the progress and it'll tell them how far they've progressed. As you can see in my screen, the pro status is now all the way to 100%. That means that this person, in this case me, is actually making active sales on eBay. Is already earning an income on eBay just following the pro training. And the same thing is going to happen for affiliate and elite status as well. There are specific progress trainings that go through all of the steps in both of them as well. The idea is by the time somebody gets to 100%, they're actually making their first income online. This will do pretty nice things. One, it will help everybody out who is just starting out. It will actually give them a very easy blueprint to follow. And as they go through it, they have to check the box and they have to actually agree with each one of the steps when they've actually done it, and we actually notice what they have done with that. But also there's something very interesting that starts happening here. We actually are tying this in with the affiliate status. So as people start becoming successful on the pro training and actually doing all of that stuff, it automatically also plugs them into the affiliate side, and they start generating an affiliate income as well by sharing things on Facebook and so on. And actually they can share things on Facebook from right here, from within this, from within DS Domination. So what's going to happen is, let's say that somebody made their first eBay listing. We're going to tell them, hey, this is the time to announce to the world that you've just made your first eBay listing. And when they get to this stage, they're going to check this box. It's going to open up a screen. It's going to tell them to log in. It's going to connect to Facebook, and it's going to actually post on their Facebook timeline from within DS Domination. It's going to auto-populate everything. They don't have to do a whole lot of stuff themselves. But then there's something else that's really fun that happens. When they first make their sale on eBay, this is where our helping hand bonus kicks in. When they make their first sale on eBay, it actually asks them, okay, at this point, who are all the people who have helped you? Like, I'll give you an example. There's a wonderful lady here from UK whose name is Susie. And Susie has a habit of helping out a lot of people, like a lot of other people. Keena is another one. They have the habit of helping a lot of people, even people who are not necessarily in their team or from the affiliate side.
Hey, Tesh.
What the helping hand bonus does, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I think the right side is kind of cropped off. I can see just a little snippet of your right side checkbox, with the blue border on it, and we're getting some of the
Okay,
comments that helped us.
is that a little better now?
Yeah, so now you can see it in the back office, and it was a little bit spliced, but now you can see the check marks and stuff that he's talking about in the progress tracker, and as we go along and complete
and
these
you can go ahead
tasks.
and cancel out as you can see, yeah, and we haven't filled out the tasks for elite and affiliate, so you can actually X those boxes out. If you want to bring them back up, just click on the progress 0% to bring it back up.
Okay.
By the way, exit
Okay.
out needs to close it in coder speak.
Oh, well, we use different coding here in North America. So, so here's the progress box right here, guys. As you go down through it, and you'll be able to check all these off, and it's got a different effect that I've seen. You know, people that are building teams and things like that, they'll get questions where people clearly haven't gone through the videos, and now they're able to check on them and hold some people responsible and say, look, have you gone through this? And see that. And, you know, if I was doing the networking end of it, I would certainly task my team to complete certain steps at certain days and then have meetings with them on what they've seen. So, hey, when you complete the pro training, let's set up like a half-hour phone call, discuss what you saw, see if you have any questions. And it just makes things run a lot smoother for everybody. That's one of the strengths I see with it. Back to you, Atesh.
I'm not entirely freed up from my son, but I will.
Okay. Oh, sure, no problem. I thought when you came back on.
No, that's fine. That's fine. Okay, you guys will not see this in your back office yet. We're going to fill out the task list for affiliate and for elite levels as well, and you're going to see this live within the week, just like we posted on Facebook earlier. You're going to see this live in your back offices pretty soon here. Right now, we just want to show everything what's coming. We want to test everything out, and then we can go from there. Also, in other news, we have a bunch of other updates. Roger, do you want to announce what's all the other updates are, and I can show them as we discuss about them?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what order you want me to go into, but absolutely no problem. So, you know, some of the things you guys have been knocking on the door with, and Hitesh has knocked out of the park. I've seen them in action and been testing them quite some time now, is, of course, the price tracker. You know, as you guys went through the holidays, I as earlier as today when I was speaking to a gentleman named Jeremy, he's like, I should have listened to you about shutting down over Christmas. And you guys have seen the blood trail of what happens right next to the holidays. And, you know, we couldn't have the price tracker out before then, but I warned you all. But still significant money being made and everything else. So we have the price tracker that's rolling out is so detailed. I mean, there's like hacky type stuff on the internet that shows one person when a couple prices went up. But this shows when the price went up, the price went down, tracks the actual quantity, and Hitesh has taken it 3 more levels deeper that he'll probably show you here in just a minute on everything else to make it even more smooth for you guys. And Hitesh, do you have that keyed up?
I do have it keyed up. Just give me one moment here. Okay, give me just 1 second here, and I'll switch over to myself and then keep going. Okay, you know, I hate to announce it. I don't like to announce it, but my son's health has not been very good. He has actually a pretty serious condition. So that's why it's kind of hard for me to jump on both things at the same time. So just give me like 2 minutes, and I'll be fully on here, okay?
Yeah, take your time, my friend. Yeah, we completely. I'll babble on, I'm sure. Kev, if you want to come out here as well, that'd be fantastic. So, yeah, Hitesh has been, without going into too much detail, he's been traveling all over the country with his family, without going into too much detail, I guess, for, mid-December, early December, and now he's actually in Arizona. And I know from traveling myself, when just the travel part of it when you get out of pocket's very difficult, let alone everything else that's going on. So he just needs to find a quiet little place there, and he'll be back on in just a moment going forward. So if you were on the call last night, you know that we have even more coming out here in just a second, or if you've seen the Facebook posts and things like that, Hitesh will be showing you guys some more stuff. We also have the affiliate training call tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you're an affiliate with DS Domination, Kevin, if you're there, can you come out and talk a little bit about that, what you plan to do with that?
Yeah, what we're going to do, guys, I did something a while back in a course where I went out and generated X amount of leads in X amount of days. And I wanted to do something very similar with that with our Market Extreme and our affiliate guys here in the system. Now, it's a very different scenario when we talk about someone who has Market Extreme and someone who has affiliate because of the capabilities that they have within
Hey,
the
Kev.
system.
Kev, you're asking to be talking louder in the chat here quite a bit. Can you talk louder?
Can you guys hear me better? No? Loud and clear? Am I loud and clear now? All right, cool. So, sorry about that. I turned the gain up on my mic. So, here's what we got going on. We're doing something very long-term with our Market Extreme group and our affiliates. Now, our affiliates and our Market Extreme group, you got to understand, our Market Extreme folks have access to some more tools within the system. So it's going to be a different training for them. So we're going to start out with the affiliate, and we're going to outline a basic structure of how, if you were in Market Extreme and you were growing, how you were going to proceed. And it has everything to do, I'll give you a little hint here, it has everything to do with being everywhere to your prospects. You see, the last big program that I promoted when I was first coming up in network marketing, I learned pretty early on that it really didn't matter how many leads I generated. It was more of a case being everywhere to that lead. So if you have 100 leads on your list currently, you don't want to just be in their email inbox. You want to be everywhere they go. They want to see you. You want them to see you everywhere you go. So it's a matter of being everywhere to that one person. I used to have people saying, Kevin, you're all over the internet. You're everywhere. And my answer was, well, I'm not everywhere. I'm not all over the internet. I'm just everywhere to you because you're on my list. So we're going to go through and we're going to do some lead generation, and we're going to set up our business in a way that when somebody comes into our sales funnel through DS Domination, that everywhere they go, we're there. We're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're in their email inbox, we're on all the sites that they usually go to. And I got some questions coming in about retargeting. It has nothing to do with retargeting. It has a lot to do with how you're setting up your Facebook pay-per-click, using fan pages, using regular paid advertising, doing dark posts, posts that people can't see on your fan pages, but they see in their timeline. All right, so there's a lot of little tricks and tips to make sure that when John Smith comes onto your list, you're everywhere to John Smith. Everywhere he goes, he sees DS Domination. Because if you guys know anything about marketing, you know that 98% of the people that are introduced to any network marketing company are probably not going to join that. And they need a little push in that direction. So we're going to push them in that direction in a very non-threatening way, in a way that brands you and make sure that you're seen as the expert and seen as somebody that they would want to do business with. So I'm pretty excited about it. It's going to be a long-term project for our Market Extreme guys and for our affiliate guys. But what we're going to do tomorrow is we're going to go over that system. We're going to go over how we're going to do that, how we're going to get those results. And for those of you who are affiliates and you're going to be on that webinar, you're going to see, just if you get just one tidbit of what I'm going to show you tomorrow and you just implemented just that, you'd probably do very well for yourself. But for those of you who are in Market Extreme and are going to take full advantage of this, there's going to be some webinars that are going to be set aside for the Market Extreme guys, for the Market Extreme folks, and you're going to get to sit there on webinars and have a little bit more access to me so I can make sure that we get all of your questions answered. And when I do something, when I do a ad or I post something, I'm going to post those results to you. So it's going to be real live case studies that you can look at the case study, watch it, implement it, but then get on a webinar with me and ask me questions about it in a very, very open forum. So I'm pretty excited about this. Like I said, it's a long-term thing. It's something I wanted to do pretty much all of 2014 and really dig down into what you guys are doing for marketing and help you out on a more personal basis in smaller group settings. Have those recorded, get them out to you. So I'm really excited about it. But we'll be giving out some more info on that tomorrow. And so for those of you who are affiliates, make sure you're on that call. Make sure you're there. Make sure you show up ready to go, and we're going to have some fun. I'll post that link in the back office, and I'll also email you guys, anyone who's an affiliate. I'm going to email you guys the link to that call. Now that brings me to the question.
There's actually something else that goes with it. There's a whole new Market Extreme update that Kevin, you and Roger have already seen. There's a whole new updated Market Extreme coming out with a lot of pretty cool stuff that you guys will also be able to implement alongside what Kevin is referring to. So you'll actually be able to see a much more detailed lead breakdown, and we'll be releasing much more detailed tracking stats and all sorts of good stuff. And it's going to be in a completely separate new design, everything else. So that's actually going to go hand in hand with everything that Roger is talking about, that Kevin is talking about. Sorry, I'm used to Roger being the one that talks. We're all used to Roger being the one that talks.
Yeah, Roger likes to talk when he doesn't have donuts in his mouth. But all donuts aside, that's awesome. And there's some more capture pages and stuff like that that we're going to look at getting in there for you guys. Yep. All kinds of things.
And we're going to be getting the new capture page creation system as well, which is going to be an entire landing page generation system. You guys will be able to create your own landing pages and squeeze pages from within DS Domination, which are completely unique to you. So you'll be able to select what feeders to put on there and things like that as well. If you would like.
Yes. All goodness, guys. I mean, 2014 is going to be, if you look at 2013 and what we did and what you guys did, you did some amazing things. Everyone on this call went out there, you built, you made money, put money in your pocket, you took care of your families, you took care of DS Domination, and we are in a position where we just want to help you succeed and grow and build. And what's really cool, and Hitesh and Roger can definitely back me up on this, is everything that we've ever done, every company that we've ever been involved with in the past, before coming to the life-saving boat of DS Domination, where we can actually have people get success. Before all that, when we were running teams and people were having that 2% success rate behind our trails, which is a horrible place to be in, and that's why we're all here at DS Domination. Before that, we always had one problem with every company we were ever involved with, and that's that they wouldn't make the necessary changes to keep up with what's happening in the marketplace. They wouldn't make a capture page that would convert. They wouldn't do the things that would help us succeed as affiliates. So when we started this, we said, look, for our affiliates, for our people who are out there building this and growing this with us, alongside of us as partners with DS Domination, which you all are, we want to make sure that we give you more than any other company has given you. More than any other company has given you as far as resources, tools, training, tracking, capture pages, the technical stuff that we would do on our own. I want to make sure you had that push button style in the back office. So this is just one step in that direction. I'm very, very excited for it. So I'll hop off. It looks like Hitesh it looks like you're freed up, my friend.
Yes, I'm a little more aware, a little more available since my son kind of settled down. He's 3, so it's hard for him to even understand why is Daddy on the computer. So anyway, let me go ahead and show a couple of things really quick that are related to the price tracker update that we talked about. First is, as you all know, we have a pretty awesome Amazon scraper within the Pro training. But there are 2 issues that people have mentioned. One is they said, well, it kind of takes about a minute, which I think is still pretty fast, but they say it takes about a minute for things to load up. So kind of fix that, and here's how fast it is now. As you can see, I'm just going to do this in real time. Click search, and there you go. Okay, so it's super fast from this point on. It works really well. The second awesome thing about this is that now you'll see this little thing called find similar. This is all going to be in a table format as well. But let's say you have a really hot selling item, which a lot of you guys already understand. Okay, All right, so anyway, the idea is that now you can take that one successful item, you can connect that to multiple other successful items, and slowly start creating this huge army of very well-selling items. So that's the basic idea behind how the drill-down research system works. Now, you still get all of the research options that you already have in the background, which is already available. You'll still be able to use all the other stuff, but this is on top of that. Now you'll be able to take one successful item and spawn that out into 10 other really well-selling items. So you can really make good use of the listings you have. So you don't have to really go out there and try and test out near as much. You don't have to spend 20 listings to find one successful item. You can actually just take one item and create 5 other successful listings out of that. So that's one of the benefits of this. Now, meanwhile, you'll be able to put all these products on a watch list as well. When you put it on a watch list, it'll do this. And now you'll be able to see any price fluctuations, any changes in the price. It checks every 2 minutes for that. And it's going to go ahead and report to you when there's a massive movement in the price. It's going to actually send you a notification saying, hey, I know you have this particular item listed for sale, and that item for sale just went up $100 in price. So you better go and change the price on eBay as well, because you don't want to take a loss on it. Meanwhile, it's also going to tell you when a product goes down in price significantly, so you can start listing other related items with it. Okay, so that will help you guys actually watch better prices, and we're going to have this for Amazon as well as for one of the major elite stores as well. So you'll be able to do the price tracking and inventory tracking like this on both Amazon, which is what we primarily teach in Pro, also for all of the stuff in Elite, where we have multiple other sources as well. Okay, so hopefully that will help you guys a lot in making sure that you are on top of all of your listings and you're not losing any money on that and things like that. Then, which all of this kind of adds up, bringing us to the final aspect, which is called DS Domination Insights. Now, I think many of you have seen the DS Domination Insights logo and all that stuff. That's actually going to be a whole massive system in itself. I'm just going to, because I don't have, I can't show the whole thing to you, I'm just going to open up its image so you guys can see the image or the logo for it. And here's how the Insights system works. Currently, as you know, that I actually created a spreadsheet. You can use that spreadsheet. It's available in your DST back office. You can use that to track the sales that you make every day. You can look at the profits and things like that. Well, what DST Insights does is every single day, it's going to automatically receive notification from eBay saying that you just made a sale. Okay? And once that sale comes in, you will be able to go in and say, okay, I've shipped this sale now, and it will automatically know what the price was that was sold for and the price was that you bought it for from Amazon or whatever your source is. What that's going to do is actually going to log it all away, and you will be able to go back and see, and it's going to actually tell you your most successful product is this, sell more of this, or your most profitable item is this. And over time, it automatically gets smarter. It actually starts looking at the stuff and starts becoming smarter, because it will be able to tell you on this particular item, it's better if you go and use one of the elite sources because it's available cheaper over there. Or when you combine that with your cashback stuff from Unleashed, it's going to be cheaper from this source instead. So don't sell it from Amazon, even though it's available there. So what that's going to do for you is, one, it's going to make sure that you have the most successful items listed out there. Also, it will help you figure out which products you should get rid of, products which are not being the most profitable for you, products that in the end are actually taking you the most amount of time to deal with. It's going to warn you about all of those things over time. So on the product side of things, on the DS Domination actual drop shipping side of things, it's going to become basically the elite thing available out there. It's the premium thing out there. Nothing else exists out there like this. And it's taken a lot of work making this, but I think it's really going to pay off. And it's really exciting just seeing how the whole stuff is going to play out and how people are going to be able to see all of the stuff. We'll actually have graphs in there which will track all of the changes in items and track all of the changes, give you ideas on, hey, we actually yesterday, for example, looking at some of the patterns, we might be able to say, hey, listen, before you ship this out, wait 1 day because you might be able to get a better deal based on the fluctuation of prices in the past. So this all sorts of awesome stuff like that. It's kind of even hard to explain once you get into that level of fanciness. but hopefully we'll have nice videos to explain everything to you guys, and you can understand how it works. So at this point, I want to kind of pause, go over some questions, and then we have a bunch of updates on the affiliate side of things as well that I want to touch upon before we kind of move into some of the other discussions.
Well, I didn't find it very difficult building it myself, Hitesh. You were saying it was difficult to build. I didn't have any problems. It just took me a few minutes.
But see, not all of us are like you, Roger. Some of us actually have to work.
Oh, you're talking about general. Okay, I see.
Yes. This is general population.
You know,
just us little guys.
Reflect back to the start, guys, where you're introduced to the whole system and stuff. You know, it sounds so cliche saying it over and over again, but I did do $1.2 to $1.8 million in sales from my living room, and I didn't have this thing. You know, I might still be doing it if I had this powerful price tracker. I mean, I'm a little scared because somebody's going to inevitably be driving down the road and get a text that their item went up $3 and pull over and cancel family dinner. But certainly it's going to be a very effective tool for all of you, and just kind of dominating the marketplace with this. So I'm really excited for what Hitesh has pulled out here and what you've done. And wow, completely powerful. Just a real quick question from me: what's the price fluctuation set at? So people know to get notified. They don't want to be notified when it shifts a penny.
Okay. So we have default settings, which are basically, but you'll be able to define it. You can say, warn me when there's a fluctuation of 12%, or warn me when there's a fluctuation of $3, right? So all of those fluctuations, you get to define that yourself if you want, because you will be the one who knows best what profit margin you have programmed in. So let's say that you are actually listing an item and you have a $20 profit margin built in. Then you might say, hey, warn me when there's a fluctuation of more than $10, because you know you're still going to be in profit even if it changes by $9, right? So you don't really care about it as much. You don't want to be getting notifications from us in email or on your phone saying this item just went up by $9 or whatever. But maybe you want to know when it goes up by $17, because then you're running a risk with that. So you will actually program that in and say, warn me when the item goes up by $17, or warn me when it goes up by 15%, or whatever you want to say. And it'll automatically adjust all of its calculations based on that and let you know on that basis when to change the item's price, or it'll actually tell you when you can still list the same item for the same price, but don't use this source, like don't use Amazon, but instead you can use the source in Elite because you can still get it for a cheaper price. So all of that stuff is actually in there. All of that stuff is going to make this a pretty sweet thing for all of you guys to put in a, that's the closest I get to American slang. It'll be sweet for you. And you can set it for each item, or you can set it globally. It's entirely up to you. Okay, I'm looking through all the questions, and the two common questions that I see are, can you tell me which level this will be for, how much will this cost, and when will this be out there? Okay, like we said earlier, we will not be charging you extra for this, okay? It will be part of Pro or Elite, because in Elite, especially because at the Elite level, it will connect with other Elite sources as well, so it's going to be a completely different thing. We can't just put that into Pro. It won't even make any sense. So you won't be paying extra for this. This is actually going to be included in there. The estimated time is actually within this week. So you'll actually get it within the next 7 days. It would have actually already been in there, except that I've been out of pocket and traveling and taking care of my son, so I haven't had as much time. But you'll actually get this released to you within the next 7 days for sure. I actually put out a pretty good timeline on a lot of different things. So within everything that we have shown you today is going to be released within the next 2 weeks. So by the 15th of January, all of this stuff will be out there, okay? And then the other question was about what do we have right now? What can we do right now related to this stuff? And I think it's kind of hard because I think a lot of people don't go all the way to the end of training. So just go all the way to the end of Pro training, and you'll find the spreadsheet back there, which you can use to do some current basic tracking. Since you're just starting out, you don't have 100 products out there. You only have 5 to 10 products. You can use a spreadsheet for that. And you have all the other title builder and image changing and all that kind of stuff back here as well. So make sure you actually go to the end of the training, okay? All right. Roger, do you have something to add, or Kevin, you have something to add, and then we'll go ahead and talk about some of the affiliate side updates and some of the changes we have made and some of the good stuff coming out.
My end, I'm jealous. I might go start listing on eBay right now for all this stuff to come out. So I'm just super excited for everybody, and I know that sounds cliche, but as you know, Hitesh and Kevin, I get to enjoy the help desk and the Facebook side of all the celebrations and everything else like that. So I know all the celebrations and all the wounds, but 99% of the time it's celebrations. And I'm really excited for everybody that I can't say anything else about it. So great job, my friend. Back to you.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Couldn't have done it without you, obviously. So let's, and I mean that. If it wasn't for Roger handling all of the help side things and all the training side of stuff, there's no way I would have the time to focus just on the senior development. So all of that done, let me answer two questions and we'll move on. One question is, can this all be outsourced? And yes, it absolutely can be outsourced if you guys want to do that. We don't recommend that you outsource it to some random person. You can train somebody within your family or a good friend or something like that, because you always run the risk of somebody taking your eBay account and stuff like that. So, do it in a trustworthy manner.
I want to add to that.
Yes.
You can actually call into eBay and add a person onto your account, so eBay recognizes they're at a different IP address. They won't flag your account, okay? So make sure you do that if you're outsourcing outside of your home.
Yep, very, very important. All right, the other question was asking about why can't Roger list on eBay anymore? And I don't think it's as much of he can't. It's more that he's busy doing more important things, which is actually helping other people do this as well. So he actually still does that every now and then on the side when he's feeling nostalgic and wants to do the old school stuff.
Well, my problem is I watch the videos that I cut on how to do it. I just can't stand listening to myself, so I really don't know how to do it anymore. No, the truth is I've just been so swamped with what we're doing here, and it's always a fantastic program to do. I just don't get a chance to very often.
Yep, and we have a lot of other insider plans as well, and we're not going to go into that direction yet because we have so many other updates already coming out, but we have something ready to outsource and coming out down the road. So we have a lot of stuff coming. So just, yeah. Anyway, that aside, let's talk about some of the other things that we've also done and are also coming. I want to make sure that everybody's familiar with them. First of all, a lot of you are familiar or are aware of the fact that on the affiliate side of things, we just recently instituted roll-up commissions on Unleashed, Monopoly, and Market Extreme, which means that if you referred somebody and they don't own Monopoly, but they referred somebody who owns Monopoly, that commission, the 50% commission, will actually roll up to you, or will keep rolling up to the next qualified person. So we actually have that implemented since December, actually since November, because I went back and I put it in place since November onwards. So some of you saw a pretty massive paycheck hitting your accounts on December 23rd and 24th, which was the early Christmas gift for you guys. So hopefully you enjoyed that. The other thing on the affiliate side is, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, we have what's called the helping hand bonus, which is a new bonus that we're adding in on top of everything else. The way it works is this. It doesn't matter if you actually recruited somebody or if they are even part of your team. It's all about whether or not you've been helping other people out. Okay, and some of you who are really active in Facebook groups and you're really active in the Skype groups, you've been helping a lot of people. And unfortunately, typical compensation plans and things like that, they don't account for people who are just helping other people, right? And we really want to value that. Okay, there are people out there who are great at advertising, they bring people in, but they don't help them at all, and somebody else is actually helping them, and we don't feel right about that, even personally. Okay, that's in our personal lives. So what we did is what's called a helping hand bonus. What's going to happen is, as they go through the progress tracker, when they become successful, when they make their first eBay sale, things like that, they will be able to tell us who the username is. In fact, we actually asked them very specifically, you need to now list usernames of people who have helped you out to get to this stage, to make your first sale online. And when they give us those people's names, we actually give out a bonus at the end of each month to all of those usernames. So if you're somebody out there who's been really helping a lot of people, and I know quite a few of you have been, you've been out there helping people just because you're kind, nice people, that's just what we will do in general. You'll be able to go out there and actually you will be getting benefits from that as well. At the same time, I'm also hoping what this does is it also encourages some of the affiliates who are really focused on the advertising but not so focused on helping out their downlines actually do this stuff. Maybe it'll also incentivize them to take some time to also help out their downlines. And that's one of the other ideas behind this. So this is also what's happening on the affiliate side of things, and that'll be live pretty soon here. As soon as the progress tracker comes out, it's going to be live at the same time. Okay. So there's that. Also, we have new videos coming out, new landing pages coming out. I have actually a complete new design for quite a few different things coming out as well. We have standard banners coming out, non-animated ones. We have JPEG banners coming out. We have a lot of stuff just coming out in the works just in the month of January itself. Okay, so are there any questions or any ideas? Oh, do you have it where we can pay our monthly fees out of our approved balance? Okay, two things about that. It's very difficult for us to actually do that because we use a third-party payment processor to keep ourselves very safe. There's some PCI laws about that. So we have a third-party payment processor, because of which we can't do that for our pro and lead on a monthly basis. But people will be able to use their approved balance to purchase Unleashed, Monopoly, or Market Extreme, or to purchase leads from this point on. It's actually already out there. So it just doesn't apply to Pro, Elite, and Affiliate, but all the other things you can actually use your approved commissions for. And for UPC codes as well. Will we get country-specific promotion videos? Okay, that's our next big aim for 2014. We're actually going to have a section within here. Within the navigation over here, you're going to see a little thing over here below the FAQs. It's going to be called for international users or international languages. We're going to have a whole series on there, which is going to be, I already have plans for Spanish. I actually have somebody translating right now. We're going to have a Spanish section in here where many of the videos, the core videos, important videos will be converted to Spanish, so they can use that. We'll also have some of the other languages in there over time. I'm anticipating about 3 months to get all of that in there, but we'll actually have these in different languages so that people in other languages can follow along and do this stuff. So some of you who have big international teams and you want to do this internationally, but also want to do it in other languages, you'll be able to do that as well. So that's the other thing coming out for you guys. Okay, next thing, which I'd almost forgotten about, so thank you for reminding me in the question box. The product feed system. I actually at this point have 58,000 products already approved, which are being loaded into the product feed section right now. I anticipate that we'll be able to make it live before the end of this month. And when it comes out and it's live, at that point you guys will be able to actually drop ship from within DS Domination sources. And we have some things in place to make sure there's not a massive amount of saturation on that. We're going to actually be breaking some things into subcategories, and we'll release different types of categories to certain numbers of users. So, the same products don't get saturated with 3,000 to 10,000 different DS Domination sellers. So what that will do is it will make it so that you guys don't even have to go to Amazon or some of those other places to find products. You'll be able to get the lowest cost items directly and start working with that. And of course, you can use that internationally and all that good stuff. And we'll be able to use PayPal for that, so you'll be able to pay directly out with PayPal. Raj, do you want to jump in and talk about some stuff and maybe go back a little bit and we can discuss when we first started out the conversion process, how we went from thinking about MLMs and stuff. And I'm going to talk about some mathematical stuff that I was just discussing earlier today. And we'll do that. But I need like 2 minutes to go check on my son, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Wow. That's a lot to take in, right? Everybody hear me okay? Yes. Awesome. Cool. So there's just so much good stuff coming out and being released and things like that. And, Atesh and I were reflecting back yesterday or the day before on a call talking about, the industry and help the average person and what's different going forward. And I know some of my, it's the environment of change right now, December going into January, and I know some of my good friends and that are in other forms of network marketing and stuff like that are looking for homes and doing different things, and there's just nothing out there. And as good as we are, it turns out to be such a great place for us on top of a fantastic program for everybody. Besides that, there's no competition as far as we can see out in the industry. Everything's been played. Health and nutrition is, I don't know, I don't even want to go down the path because I'll sound like a negative guy about it. I tend to get carried away when I start comparing other programs, so I don't even want to go down that path. I'm just going to avoid that, I guess, and be a good boy today. I'll calm down on that as people start typing in different programs in here. So, me, I would caution people both ways. I would say if you're just doing eBay and making money with that, the challenge for you is to go out and share it. And that sounds like old cliche stuff, but before you're being asked to share something based on potential and excitement. So you're in a company, Kevin, I'm not sure if you're muted. You're in a company and you can go out and you're being told that you're going to make all this money and you're being told you're going to get a car and you're being told you're going to be healthy, but it turns out that you're only being told that. You haven't had that success. So here, we're not asking you to go out and tell a bunch of people like you might have the success, and we're just asking you to live your lives and go patiently through everything and make a few dollars and then tell a few people like you would a good movie or a good steak dinner or whatever. So that's all we're talking about here. So on the side of if you're doing eBay and making money, great. You almost have like you should almost have a natural instinct to go, you know what, my Uncle Pete who's broke would like to do this too. And I would not keep this to yourself. It actually becomes painful. In the sense that, I told you guys how long I did it for, and I became a very, very, very massive introvert, all right? The bills were paid, I ate whatever I wanted, life was good, but I became an introvert. And becoming an introvert is a negative part of life just as much as being broke. So don't do that to yourself. The other side of it is, if you're doing the affiliate side of it, and I see a lot of people, I'm really happy about this, that are doing the affiliate side of it are also doing the eBay, which is great. If you're an affiliate in other programs, sometimes you don't take the medicines and pills and stuff like that, or you do in the beginning and then it falls off. And it's no fluke that our product really equates to money, so the affiliates are doing that at the same time. But make sure you're there to train individuals as you do that. Don't just collect the checks, and I see a lot of great leaders out there that are training people and going through the steps, but I also see leaders that are making massive amount of money that haven't done an eBay listing. That's a shame because you're missing out on the other end of it, which is helping people, and you really should get into that facet. You just can't. You'll just run into a wall just purely recruiting if you're not out there helping people. And now use that progress tracking system. I know when I was doing network marketing, and I'm getting fired up now, I'm about to go crazy. I know when I was doing network marketing, I made, I don't know if it was a mistake or what it was, but I just had this belief that no one was going to fail. All right, but the problem was I couldn't work with everybody, and I couldn't drag them. I couldn't drive to their home. I couldn't convince them. I couldn't hug them enough. I couldn't, feed them enough. They just had to do it themselves, and that's not what happened. So I had no way of sorting that. I would just call and call and call. Then I became hardened, and it was like, if you've done something, I'll help you. And that was wrong because I needed the help to do something, right? So now, at least in here, as an affiliate person or as a a leader, you're going to be able to look at that progress tracker, and you don't even have to think about it. It's, yeah, this person, man, they haven't made a dime. Their listings are all messed up, but man, they went through everything. They did it. I can see it. I'm going to give them a hand. Okay? So there's two sides of the equation here. People that are just doing eBay, your challenge is to just take a deep breath, get rid of all the no's in your minds and the stigma of the industry and all of that stuff, and say, what am I actually doing here? I'm making money, and I'm telling my Uncle Bob that I made money. Ooh, right? That's your whole challenge to move forward and live a more rewarding type life. And the wrap-up is the affiliate on the other end. Your challenge is to reach out to people and not just say it, but hold your hand out there. And the onus is on the people that want their hand held and lifted up to actually go through the trading. All right, Tesh, you got me off on a tangent, so back to you.
Yes, no, I'm sorry. I was actually writing this out before I realized my screen share was still on.
Oh.
I wanted to share a really important mathematical principle. Okay? Because what happens is, this is a very unfortunate thing, and I see this propagated all the time. People do this all the time to others. I see Facebook posts about it and whatnot. People say to others, oh, you didn't make it in that system, in that program, in that MLM, whatever, because you were lazy. Okay? And here's the bottom line. 95% of people can't be lazy. Okay? It's not because so many people are lazy and so many people are not doing stuff. So I'm going to show you something mathematically here. Okay? Let's say all of these are Roger's clones. Okay? We all know Roger is great at recruiting people. Okay? These are all Roger's clones. Or let's say they're all Hitesh's clones, and Hitesh is great at online marketing. What's going to happen in a system like this? I want you to recognize something here very simply. There's a mathematical principle. At a 50% commission, the total amount of money these people are spending here is $1,300. The total amount of commissions being made are $650. This guy here now, this Roger clone or Hitesh clone, might be driving a nice car or making some money. These guys over here are making nothing. And the mathematical principle is actually very straightforward. You can play this out in any commission structure. You can take your 100% commission claims and whatever. What you're going to find is, mathematically, if you had the perfect organizational structure, at most, only 25% of people can even break even. Okay, only 25% of people can break even. That's if you put everybody in the whole world into that organization, only that many people can break even. So what happens is, in usual companies, and this was very interesting, I was speaking with a couple who did really well in another MLM earlier, which was about shakes and stuff that Roger knows of as well. And they said it came to a point where they would start talking to somebody about that company, and they would say, oh, you want me to join so you can drive a BMW? And that company had a BMW bonus and things like that. And what you have done is you've created a very clear stigma here. All of these people are losing money, and eventually they're going to look at you as the cause for losing that money. And I want to really drastically contrast this with DS Domination. When you recruit, when you even share this with somebody, do not go out there and say, hey, dude, if you share this with 4 other people, you're going to be making money. That's not the way to go about this. What we want you to tell people is, listen, if you go out there and copy-paste stuff from Amazon to eBay, just the way we teach you in Pro, just follow that training, and this is what you can do. This is the income that you can generate with that. All of this stuff is way down the road. This is not what the average person needs to do, because if you go out there and promise people they can make money recruiting, guess what? It is a mathematical fact that most of them will fail. Not because they didn't put in the effort, not because they are lazy or anything like that. It's just a mathematical principle. You only have so much amount of money, and the net amount of commissions paid is always going to be lower than the net amount of money coming in. And it doesn't matter if this is a rev share or whatever they want to call it, most of the people will still lose money. Okay? So when you go out there and you start building a system to promote DS Domination, you start sharing this with other people, don't do this like an MLM. Don't go out there and say, hey, if you start selling these shakes to other people, if you start selling DS Domination to other people, you'll make money. Just focus on eBay, just focus on Amazon and other companies like it, because then you don't have to fight the battle of trying to convince them like somehow this is a different MLM than other things. Just talk about the very basic idea. Hey guys, go in here and start using the training. Watch the videos, use the software, start making your listings. That's it. Don't even bring up sharing this with other people. And what happens is, the general progress is, people start doing this. They come in on the Pro or the Elite webinar on Wednesdays. and they see the whole power of the system, and they'll upgrade automatically because it makes logical sense. Okay, so the other thing that you need to start doing is appeal to logic, not to emotions. Okay, now you go out there and read any book on selling, it's going to teach you how to sell on emotions. Okay, but you don't want to sell on emotions. You want to focus on just logic, and that's what works. Okay, so when you appeal to people's logic, they don't come to you and they don't look at you as the person who brought misery into their life because now they're buying all these shakes and they didn't lose enough weight and they spent all this money or whatever. They're actually going to look at you as the guy who presented a very logical system, and the rest is up to them. And here's the best part. I know people who started DS Domination, they quit because of their certain situations in their life, and they didn't come to us and say, this is a horrible system, I wasted money. They actually came back very regretful saying, I'm so sorry I had to cancel this because I just don't have the time to do this. Because we didn't sell them on emotions. We didn't sell them on a dream or a promise. We just showed them a very logical system that works. And they are the ones who chose to take it on. So I guess that's the whole idea behind why we so emphasize focus on the products with DSP, not on the affiliate side of things. Even though it would make us, the three of us, Roger, Kevin, and I, we would make a lot more money if all of you went out there and became affiliates and started recruiting. But we don't want to do that because us making a lot of money at the expense of other people doesn't sit right with us. That to us is a moral issue, and we won't do that. So that's basically it. That's the long spiel on the mathematical issues with average MLM, and that's actually why we have what we call the cost offset model, and you should watch Kevin's video on that. Okay, is anybody else going to talk, or should I just keep going?
I thought you were queuing up Kevin to come out with that.
Yeah, I did kind of queue up Kevin to come out with that, but I think Kevin didn't pick up on my cue.
Kevin's muted.
Kevin's in Japan, so stuff gets lost in the in translation. I'm coming here with an Indian accent, with British English, and then Kevin is over there with his special English. I don't know which English it is, and it just kind of doesn't work sometimes.
Yeah, speaking of Indian accent, I want to apologize about the call last night. Hitesh tried to do a call with my voice, and everything collapsed. I couldn't even get on there.
I didn't even try your voice yet. I actually just got on, and I said, hey, so what's up, dudes? And it just collapsed on itself. They just couldn't comprehend. They're like, what is going on here?
Awesome. There is another team, by the way. We are coding. Hitesh doesn't know this yet, but for Hong Kong. And then I'm being knocked on the door a little bit. This is what reminded me here in the chat to do some French, get some French videos out there. So, you know, it's all underway. And when I say it and when I hear it, it's coming soon. It's coming soon. It's from being in other companies, it's coming soon is always like, yeah, okay. You get excited. It's like when? What are we, like 4 months old, 5 months old, or something like that? And I look back at all the stuff we roll out, and sometimes we're a few days late, and sometimes we're a few days early. So all of this stuff is, whatever, game changing, and it really is down to, obviously I work the help desk quite a bit. As I mentioned, I see quite a few things in there. Very infrequently, somebody will write in and cancel. But when I ask them why they canceled, it's never like, this sucks. It's always like, your program's absolutely awesome. I'm just going to be traveling to here. I'm going on vacation for a month or something like that. And it just kind of makes me feel good. And then there's folks that they want to be rich tomorrow. And the industry's bred that, and we don't have that here for you. But we have retirement in short order. I see a lot of people that will get everything, and they ask so many questions on the help desk that eventually I say, can I see your eBay username? And there's never a listing up. It's always, when they're asking, like, when I put the listing up, should I put periods at the end of sentences? And I'm just like, let me see your listings for a second. I don't have any up yet. It's like, come on. So that's it. This is the only stopping trigger that we just can't control, and it's action. Just take the action, and go for it. And little pitfalls. I see something on here. I'm slow on the computer. And somebody's writing it, so I'm slow on the computer. I'm 57, and I won't read the rest of it because I don't think anybody is dumb. But you know, when you get to it, I'll give you a story. Everybody hear me now on the call? Yeah, perfect. Sweet. When I went to college 3 times in the last 5 seconds, now, when I started college late, I was 24, and I was actually living in Nova Scotia, Canada. And when I graduated high school, I really didn't have any sense of direction, and I went over and I was late registering for college at that time, at the age of, I don't know, 18 or something. And I ended up taking these Shakespeare courses and psychology, and it just wasn't my thing. So I took some time off and I worked. And then when I moved down to New York to go to college, I was 24 by the time I went down there. And I remember like these young kids that were, you know, coming into college at 18. They had the training on Excel and spreadsheets and all this stuff. And I felt like I was so far behind the learning curve. I felt like the old guy at age 24. So I say to you that you're traveling and you're going slow through this and having difficulties. I could cite the example of my mother who's 77, but you know, she got one-on-one training with me. I'm sure if I sat down with someone one-on-one, which I can't do, I'd have you up and running in no time. But what you'll see, and you just have to take my word for it on this, is really all it is you got a screen in front of you, and you got this black thing in your hand or a white thing, and you click some buttons, and that's the whole deal. You know, it's like, what order of the buttons do I click to get it done? But you just got to trudge through it. I had a gentleman that owned a dry cleaner shop up in New Jersey, and when I called him, this is prior to DS Domination, he got private training from me for $1,000 at the time. And I followed up with him, and he wasn't moving. He wasn't getting anything done. And finally, he had a girl come in, a young girl that worked at the dry cleaners, and helped him out and just get over the initial hurdle. And now he's doing amazing amounts of money. In fact, even after he privately trained with me, he joined DS Domination, he's doing very well. I don't know what the end is for him, but I'll tell you this. He was in his 50s and had been working at that dry cleaner. Now he owns it for 20, 30 years. I could not imagine. I mean, I know just finding my socks in my home here. The running joke is one time they were in the drawer they're supposed to be, and my wife's like, "Did you look in the drawer?" And I'm like, "Oh, okay, I didn't think to look there," for the 15th millionth time running joke, but I could not imagine running a dry cleaner for that long, and there was just no end in sight. And whatever you're doing, I don't know how old you are, 18, 80, I don't know how old you are, but whatever you're doing is probably not as satisfying as you'd like it to be. And if you can come on here, if you can hop on the phone with me and tell me what your game plan is to retire and it makes sense, send me your link. But for me, and watching other people do this, it's 3 to 6 months to a year, and they're done, never working again. And a traditional job, 10,000 times more odds of shutting down before eBay does. And I'll just say that. So if you're muted, go ahead and unmute yourself and pick it up from there.
Okay, and I just wanted to show something quick to everyone, okay? I kind of suggest that everybody do something like this. If you kind of need a game plan to try and figure out where you need to go, okay? As you can see, this is a very easy to make spreadsheet. And if you guys want, I can send a spreadsheet like this to you guys. And all I've done is, you know, I've just kind of made up some figures here. And you can see that this is like, for the average family, this is kind of the necessary income they need. And all you can do is you can just break this down and figure out how much do I need to make from drop shipping, how much do I need to make from recruiting, and just plug the figures in. And you can actually set very good goals with that. And the cool thing about this is you can actually figure out very specifically what you will need. Let's say you want to build up a significant size of income. If you go back in your back office, if you go to affiliate training, there's a live training where I kind of broke down how many leads you need, or how you want to use the Market Extreme sales funnel if you have a certain amount of income you need. So what you will need to do here is just figure that out and use that for the DST recruiting income here. And for your DS Domination drop shipping income, you just need to figure out how much income you want, and then say, let's say that only 10% of my sales are profit, this means I need to make $6,000 a month in sales. And just work backwards from there. Just go through the pro training. It's actually going to break down that whole thing for you very, very easily. So I guess my point here is because when we came to Arizona, it was a very interesting thing. Just the way that God worked everything out for us. I ended up, we actually met with a family who was in DS Domination. And I was actually helping them discuss this and figure this out as well. And they're basically doing everything with DS Domination at this point. So I guess my suggestion is get a game plan, figure this out, put this on a spreadsheet, figure out what you need to make, break this down between how much do I need in affiliate income, how much do I need in my dropshipping income, and just put numbers to things and start going. And if you are slow, you might think you are slow, but when you start breaking these numbers down, even if you are 5 times slower than Roger is, okay? Roger takes 5 minutes on a listing. Let's say you take 25 minutes on a listing, okay? If you just did 5 listings a day, that's only 2.5 hours. And over a month, that adds up to 150 listings. Over 3 months, that's 450 listings. And if you're making an average of just $10 profit per sale, that's $4,500 a month in income. So don't worry about how slow you are or how fast you are or how long it takes you. Just be persistent and have a game plan prepared and figure out what you need to actually make. And you can really break it down into very good detail from there. Okay, so I just want to throw that out there because whenever I see comments like, I'm slow or things like that, I want you guys to understand something. Anybody can make it seem like they have a very difficult life, and anybody can make it seem like they have a really good life. Some of you might look at me and you might go, oh, that guy makes millions online, right? And it makes it seem like a really good life. Or I can make it sound like I'm so, I'm a college dropout. English is my second language. I grew up near a slum in India. Oh, now I can make up a story about how difficult it is for me. So don't think that way. Just focus on what you need to do and just do it. Don't even worry about your personal situation right now. And I guess that's all I have to say about that. Sorry about that little tangent. But I'll put this spreadsheet out, or we'll send it out or something, okay?
Yeah, Tesh, I just wanted, can you just grab a paint document and do some math for me while I talk out loud here for a quick second?
Yes,
There's been a slight edit in Amazon. I haven't had a chance to cut a video yet, but I want to make you guys aware of it. And this will just give you some outlook on different mindsets and stuff like that. I had a few people walk into the help desk, and they were, like a deer in headlights, petrified, stunned on is this the end, and what can they do, and total disaster, and they don't know how to fix it. So in the videos, I talk about Amazon charging tax 1/4 of the time, or 20% of the time, or I'm sorry, 25% of the time you'll get charged tax. Well, Amazon this year has announced that 20 states will now charge tax. So 20 out of 50 states is what percentage? It's 40%. So Amazon will charge tax in 40% of the states. So if you take a look at this and go, well, what's the average tax? The average tax is about 8%. And if you get charged taxed 40% of the time, really overall on every single order, you should be charged taxed 3.2%. Okay? I'll say that again. The math works out. You can trust me or go through this. 3.2% you'll be charged tax on average, meaning one order you won't be charged, then you won't be charged, then you won't be charged, then you will be charged, then you won't be charged, will be charged. But on average, you can add in 3.2%. So I teach in the videos to charge to up your to factor in 15% when really it's 13%, and I cushion in the other 2% because that's what the tax worked out to. So really now it's 16.2%. So rather than be devastated by that, the difference between 15% and 16.2% is 1.2%, or to say if you sold something for $50, on average you'll lose 60 extra cents. So when you run across that or see a post and stuff like that, instead of making $7 in the sale, you'll make $6.40. I think we're going to be okay. Okay, so just a little bit of mindset stuff. Some people wrote in the help desk like this was the end of times, and other people were like, well, whatever. But there's some math behind it, and we have all kinds of video updates and stuff that we're rolling out. For example, Amazon's return policy has slightly changed. So I have all kinds of stuff that I want to return from Christmas stuff that I don't like that I can't figure out because I'm not technologically savvy. And I will be cutting some videos on me returning my stuff personally to help you guys out. Okay, so all of that's in place. And again, the process. Jeff White actually posted this on Facebook, and I had a sense of it from watching people. But it's completely okay. This isn't a push to go further and go higher, but we have a proven model. So I'll see folks on Facebook. I've sold 176 items at Pro, and I'm thinking about Elite, and then ask several questions. Well, I think we've kind of identified and proven ourselves at the point that you've sold 176 items at Pro. Now, you're not obligated whatsoever to upgrade, and if you never do, no one's ever going to call you. No one's upset with you. Cool, hang out at Pro. But our model is make $20 at Pro, then upgrade. And we're not saying you have to at all. But when you start going outside the model, if I tell you to walk down a path and at the end of it there's a box of gold bullion or a treasure of gold bullion, and you decide you want to go off into the woods a little bit or check the stream or open the refrigerator or go left a little bit and go right, well, the more you get off that path, the less likely you're to succeed on the path that we have set forward for you. So I'll caution you guys to follow, and if you haven't seen that webinar where Hitesh and I are together laying out a plan for you from nearly zero to retirement, that's every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Or watch one of the recordings in the affiliate section. Back to you.
Beautiful. Well, the interesting thing is, there's a lot of people in DSD right now who did not even care about this at all, and here's why. They're listing stuff out there with a 40% profit margin or a 50% profit margin. And this tiny little change doesn't even affect them at all because, I mean, there's no reason not to have a 40% markup because you can totally do that. There's a lot of people doing that. I would actually go with a minimum 20% profit margin whenever you list products, and stop worrying about, or what if there's a 1% change. If you're truly cutting it that close that you're worried about a 1% change in price, then you're really just not marking it up enough. You just have to mark it up a little bit more than that, and that's it. That should take care of that whole issue for you. Okay. Other than that, like Roger said, there's a very clear-cut path here, and the path is really start drop shipping, use the training, use the software, go through everything, start generating income with that, use that income to fund your advertising. Okay, don't spend money out of pocket, especially if you're struggling with stuff. Use that to go, start growing your teams and your downlines and things like that, using the money you're making from the drop shipping. Now, on top of that, there are people in here who are making 5 figures a month just from the drop shipping, and they started out in September. So there is no reason that you could not make hundreds of dollars per day just doing drop shipping. I know people are doing that. I know people who are making hundreds of dollars per sale on drop shipping. So just focus on doing that. First, make the money with drop shipping. At the same time, grow your team out and grow your recruiting side or your affiliate side by using the income you're getting. Okay, it's a very simple, common sense system. I don't know why everybody's programmed to think that you have to recruit. Okay, stop doing that. In fact, I had a very good conversation about that already today. So that's what we have. Now, there's a couple other things that I want to mention that we just haven't talked about yet. One is that we're going to be sending out a big update because we're going to be finalizing the date, and we're going to be finalizing all the stuff. We'll be sending out information on the tickets for the first DST live event. Okay, so all of you kind of keep an eye out for that because you'll want to grab those quickly because just like our webinars and our calls, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be all gone pretty within a few days, if not a few hours. So that's one thing. The second thing is that we'll actually be opening a little DST store. I actually have some t-shirts designed. Roger posted an image of him with a DST cap on and stuff like that. So we'll have all of that out there as well if you guys are interested in any of that stuff. And then of course we will have the grand opening of the DS Domination product source system, the product feed system. So just basically keep your eye out for the whole month of January because we're going to have all sorts of updates rolling out, and we don't want you to move. We just want you to lose out on the updates as they're coming out because there's so many things that will be changing in here very, very quickly, and that's the main thing here. that
Yeah, and just to nail home the size of DS Domination, echo, test. Just to nail home the size of DS Domination, you see that Alexa score, and it's pretty amazing, but it's numbing. It's a score on a piece of paper, or they'll say there was 100,000 people in the stadium, and okay, until you're in that stadium, whatever. But just to add one more little thing on top of everything else is we're delayed. We want to have an event. I want to go out and hang out like tonight. We're delayed launching our event and selling tickets. I mean, every company, all they want to do since inception is launch an event and sell tickets for various reasons. We're late because we can't get a big enough place in Las Vegas. That's to hold everybody. So that's the craziness of this. Kevin, I think you wanted to come out. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, keep going, brother. Keep going.
Okay, so Kevin comes out and all he says
I thought you had some more to say, but if not, I know we're not pushing the affiliate side, but I want to let you guys know we are going to be having that webinar tomorrow, like I outlined in the beginning.
Yes, we have the affiliate webinar tomorrow.
Yeah.
And we'll send an email about that, right?
I will be sending an email about that, and the training from last night, the elite training is up. The pro will be back there in a little bit, so you guys can go watch that if you missed it.
Beautiful.
And webinar tomorrow.
There's something really important. I just want to say something here, very important related to the webinars. If you're somebody who just joined DST in the past 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever, and there are literally thousands of people who have joined in the last 3 weeks, and I mean that literally thousands of people who joined in the last 3 weeks. So if you joined the last 3 weeks, this was one of our slowest seasons because we weren't doing a lot of live webinars and things like that. I just want to make sure that you guys actually go in here and you're watching the previous recordings of the webinars because there's a lot of really, really good and important stuff that we went over there. There are live webinars under affiliate. If you go to live training, you're going to find those there. And you're going to find live trainings under DS Domination Pro and DS Domination Elite, depending on what level you're on. I really cannot emphasize how important that is for you. Go ahead and watch those because that's really going to change how you plan things out, like we just discussed. We have an entire planning session in there where we show you exactly what to do step by step to get to the stage that you need to get on. If you're somebody living in, I don't know, Dominican Republic or something and you need to make just $1,000 a month, you can do that very easily. If you're somewhere in an expensive part of the U.S. and you need to make $12,000 a month, well, there's a way to get that too. But you have to kind of plan out based on that. So we listed the whole thing out. We played the whole system out for you. Everything is explained in great deal of detail, and we take all the questions live while we're on there. So most likely whatever questions you have already been answered there. And make it a habit to get on these live webinars. And if you're an affiliate, make it a habit to let your teams know to get on these webinars because easily, I can tell right just from looking at very preliminary stats that people who attend the webinars have much higher success rates than people who don't. And I mean, even in the people who don't watch the webinars, they have a very high success rate. But there is a very noticeable difference in the level of income that they generate just because it's that much easier for you to find hot selling items and it's that much easier for you to plan out your affiliate campaigns if you're doing the affiliate side. So just really emphasize that you guys do that. Get on those webinars. Don't ignore what we have done in the past because it's all honestly good stuff. I know it's like every company is supposed to say our webinars are really good, but they are really good and they will be very helpful for you.
And if you haven't started yet, at the top of your screen where it says affiliate inactive, to make money beyond eBay, if you're not a networker, if you're not an online marketer, et cetera, to make money beyond eBay, really all it is a Facebook post by you saying, I sold something on eBay. And you'll have interest of people that want to do it too. So if you haven't clicked on activate your affiliate status at the top of the page, go up there and do that. And the reason I bring this up now is because Kevin has been telling me about the training he's doing this Friday, and he hasn't had much time because of his service to us to put a lot of stuff together, but now he's had over the holidays a significant amount of time, and I'm really excited about what he's going to show you on Friday. If I was going to watch any webinar for affiliate training since the beginning till now, I'd be really excited to see this one on Friday. So really good opportunity to kick off your affiliate season. And if you don't know anything about network marketing or sharing products or anything like that, literally you'll start off by doing a Facebook post and probably get some folks signing up and some residual income. It's just that easy. So I would be excited to be on Kevin's webinar this Friday.
The webinar is at 8 p.m. Eastern. We usually do all our webinars at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is kind of a rarity for us to do one at 5 p.m., but almost all of our webinars are on 8 p.m. We have an 8 p.m. webinar for prospect every Tuesday, and then we have an 8 p.m. webinar on Wednesday for pro. We have a 10 p.m. webinar for elite, and then we have an 8 p.m. webinar on Fridays for affiliates. And I totally understand there are some of you who won't be able to attend because of the timing or whatever it is. If you cannot attend, we do record them and we put them all in the back office right here. So just make sure that you get back on there and you can watch over there as well. Okay?
And for those of you who are affiliates, hop back there. The link is indeed live for the webinar tomorrow. Guys, I'll tell you, Roger said something earlier on, and I've been muted most of this call because I didn't want any background audio technical difficulties that we've been having. But the thing is, he said something about sharing DS Domination like it's a good movie, right? And just hit me up in the chat if you guys have ever heard another company say that and thought to yourself, well, this isn't really a good movie. This is a really painful movie. Why would I want to share that? And that's what we were up against in other companies and what we've seen out there in the industry. You know, people are why would you share something that you're not having success with? But for here, you've heard Hitesh say it, Roger say it, I've said it. When you're making money with this, it's easy to share it when you're actually making money with it, and so many people are. So it's a totally different scenario than let me go share this thing that I've had pain with and haven't recruited anybody for the last 6 months and haven't been able to build it myself. Why would I want to put that pain on somebody? Here you're saying, look, I'm making money with this. I'm actually doing it. Of course I want to share that. So it's really refreshing for me with what we have here, guys, and people being able to share that. Thank you, Joe. So you know, I love the fact that you're actually going to be able to share DS Domination and show people this from a standpoint of, hey, look, I'm actually making money with this, not from a standpoint of I've been doing this for 6 months and I haven't made any money with it. Okay, it's a totally different scenario. So love it, love it, love it. And yeah, I'm just excited for what we can do on the affiliate side and everything moving into 2014 and what we have got going on for you guys.
Here we go. The run has started officially for 2014. Thanks, Hitesh. Thanks, Kevin, for everything you guys do, and I sure appreciate you guys. And we will have this recording up as soon as possible. God bless, guys. Take care. Thank you.